today we are going to see high speed dynamic contour toolpath. The next we'll see about the dynamic contouring option. What is where this dynamic contouring option will be useful? Suppose if any job we can do by dynamic machining itself, but what is the necessity of dynamic contouring? Definitely there must be some exact usage. Okay, so example, if you are receiving some casting material, so the casting has 5 mm plus stock material, how you are going to machine? So in that kind of situation, only to remove this 5 mm material, we are going to use this dynamic contour machining. So the exact usage, if you want to understand, for that we'll take one example. So I'll go to run user application, that there is a called a sprocket. Okay. So now sprocket is there. If you want to change, you can change. So I modified pitch diameter and number of teeth I will change. Oh, sorry. I think I given wrong number of teeth. Okay, sorry. Instead of 15 teeth, I made it 150. Okay. So now the sprocket is made. So this is the roller diameter is okay. Okay. So this is like a sprocket. This we are going to machine and having a stock of 5 mm. Okay. So we will make a complete sprocket by adding a keyway. Okay. And the divide option will take it. Okay. So like this one sprocket is made. If you want, you can extrude it. Solid. So visibility, if you want to make good visibility, you can select all and say extrude. And thickness you can change it. Okay. Like this one. So like this one sprocket you are getting. So you are receiving this as a casting. So material left out here is very less. So that situation, how you are going to use, which is a good tool path is this. I will select the mill tool path. So I will select dynamic contour tool path. So I will select the chain. The chaining method is similar, nothing change. So this entire profile I need to machine. So other options we will not allow because we are going to do only contouring. Okay. Tool. I should have checked what is the inner radius, that I have not done it. So it's better to check inner diameter so that you can select the right tool. So analyze dynamic. So around 7 radius is there. So what is the cutter you can take? So less than that. So we can take a 5 or 6 diameter cutter. So this will give you idea what is the size of the cutter you can use it for the this application. Okay, so I'll go here again, toolbar, high speed, dynamic toolbar. Now I'll select the chain. Okay, okay. Tool. So I have taken a 4 flat. You can take 5 also, nothing wrong. You can change the tool number. So here your high speed so that you can give the what is your machine acceptable values you can give here. So plunge rate I kept a little less. So I will make it 3000 as a feed rate. I will make it to 21,000. So now we'll here. So what is approach distance? So we can give it. So how much the step over? So 10 percentage I keep. So micro lift we can give. Stock I am not keeping anything. Let it be 0. In case if you keep material here, then you need to do the finishing pass. So if you are not keeping any stock here means, so the finishing pass, if it is necessary in the, you can do it. Radius of the tool shaped the stock means it means that what is the radius in the casting. Maybe 10 I have given. So this is the radius of the casting, inner radius. Okay. So now what is the minimum tool radius? Now it is cutting the stock. Char four tool we are using. Okay. So sorry, it is asking radius. So here I'll put 5. Current tool 2. Stock thickness you can give. Here I don't want. I'll add one finishing pass here. Stock material point 2. So you can switch on lead in lead out, no problem. But depth you can select it directly. Little increase minus 12.5. So I will keep everything absolute. You just check what is anything else. Then finally you can switch on the coolant. Okay. So now it is calculating. So now you can see the this is the tool path how it is. So you can see that how it is going to cut. You can see when it approaches near to that contour, the cut pattern is totally changing. Okay. So this is what the dynamic contour toolpath. You can give stock setup here. I will say cylindrical. Uh, Diameter I can select now. Thickness 12 I know. You can say bounding box is better. Okay. Now you can give the thickness. So now we can check it by running. Maybe the tool length is not correct. Oh, stock position also I think whether I have made it correct or wrong. So, okay, still I will increase it. Okay. Let us see, but still my stock is I think that also be reset. Let me check my retract also. I made everything absolute. Okay. Yeah, tool is going down now. See, maybe my stock position is not correct. It's visible, no? So my stock is above, but I am cutting bottom. Okay. So now you can change the minus 12.5 here at the bottom. So now you can run that. We have given finish pulse also. So this is high speed contour machining. Even you can modify it's going little away now. So we can reduce the, we change this diameter. So we'll make it 3. So you can do some more iterations and modify the parameters, understand how it is behaves. So this way, if you do it, definitely you will learn properly. Okay, this is a dynamic contouring toolpath. Okay, so I can save it for the reference. Okay, uh, so what is the next toolpath is high speed dynamic. So area mill. Next is the area mill, peel mill and blend mill is there, but we will see the now area mill. So the area mill, blend mill and the uh, peel mill are particular application based. So you can see that the area mill is for machining hard material. Peel mill is for the machining slots. This blend mill is used for blending the two curves. Okay. So when the hard material comes, you cannot do all the operation by you cannot use the dynamic mill. So the hardness is more than 40 HRC. I mean to say after heat treatment the material is come, so you need to go for area mill. Okay. So we'll go on take example. We'll see that the previous example itself. I will take one small cut. Here also the selection technique is similar. Oh, it is similar to dynamic selection. High speed area mill. Chain I need machining region. I need to cut from outside. Chain I want the outer chain. Okay, accept. And there is a air region is there. So I will select the air region. And this is my air region. Accept. Okay. Now I need to select the tool. I have taken 6 flat end mill. Either what type of milling, climb milling or down milling or up milling or conventional milling. So compensation you can see. Now here is the change. See corner rounding, and that is a sudden sharp turn. So automatically it adds some radius. Okay. So we can give maximum and minimum radius. So we have given 2 mm radius. Step over percentage is 45 percentage. You can give profile tolerance. So by selecting the particular parameter, you can see that window is showing what is the use. Okay. I made the step over percentage as 40 because we are going to machine the very hard material. So it's naturally necessary to cool the cutter. Means 40 percentage of cutter diameter is engaged in the material. Remaining 60 percentage will be in the air, so that it will be cooled by the coolant. Okay. If you want to stock, you can give the stock. Otherwise, leave it. We'll say keep tool down. Depth of cut. Here you cannot give much depth because we are going to machine the hard material. You can say 0.5. Cutting motion how you want. So whether the trochoidal motion you want. So you can adjust the step over adjustments also, or otherwise if you don't want trochoidal motion, you can switch off. You can switch off or switch on according to your requirement. So you can see everything is in terms of percentage of tool diameter. You are free to modify. Something it's not allowing, you see, it's not allowing me to change. Okay. Minimum loop radius, feed rate adjustments. So this and all you can modify, and you can make your toroidal size and shape. Step over adjustments. You can give the details. So if any doubt, if there is a question mark, just you click in. So you just understand what is the exact parameters. All the parameters are given here, and you just read it, understand. Just you read it once, it will clear your all your doubt. Next is transition. Whether you need profile transition or the helical transition. Exact clearance from the above the material where it has to enter. What is the plunge angle? So these things you can modify. So what is the profile length? You can see, it shows picture over there. Here I will keep absolute. I will keep my top of stock. Depth I will select it from here. So we'll now it started calculating. Actually we selected the profile only. You can see automatically it understands where there is a open space. There it takes the lead in and lead out. These toolpaths are little intelligence toolpaths, and you no need to tell much here. It understands and it makes the very good toolpaths. So, so it it also having similar to avoidance region, entry region, or air region. All the things you can here also you can see. See all the options are allowed here. So what is the difference in the parameter is, so here when there is a sudden change in radius means direction, automatically it adds some arcs, and depth of cut and the cutting motion. If you don't want toroidal motion, you can switch off. Transition either helical or ramping. So these are the small changes between the uh, uh, dynamic tool path and hard material. For hard material, we can use the uh, uh, so for hard material, we can utilize the area mill. Um, so wherever it is needed, entry exit it will take care, and also there is a sudden change in the direction or sharp turns are there, automatically it adds some radius, and also entry it will take either helical or profile ramping. These are the changes when you compare with the dynamic mill to area mill. So its application is special for the hard material. Okay, you can see here is a lead in and a lead out. So in normal toolpath you have seen that entry and exit is in the XY only, but here in the high speed and area mill you can see uh, the lead in and lead out maybe take place in the ZX or ZY also, then the XY. So these are the things. Even you can change your width or length and other things. So now I made little change here. With the trochoidal motion I changed, at entry method I changed. So now you can see that this is a normal. Now you can see this is the transition. So from one depth to next depth, how it is one. So one step over to another step over, and how it is transit between the one step over to another step over. So automatically it will give a smooth transition. Okay. So now we have seen two type of toolpath. One is the dynamic contour toolpath. Another is the area mill toolpath. Okay. These are the two toolpath we have seen. Thank you.